All right, Taurus, let's get into your reading. So the message that I have for you today is this, and it came through strong right away. There is a person who cannot stop thinking about you, and the intensity surprised even them. You have taken up space in their mind in a way that nothing else competes with right now. The way they see you is something you need to hear because it goes beyond surface attraction. To them, you are not just beautiful on the outside. You carry something magnetic that pulls them in. Details about you that most people overlook, they notice every single one, and it deepens what they feel. Let us go ahead and get into it because this energy is strong and does not slow down. The first card we have for you is the Ace of Wands, and this one is pure fire. Ace of Wands confirms raw desire, the kind that sparks in the chest before the mind catches up. This person feels a pull toward you that is physical, emotional, and almost primal underneath it all. The attraction is not casual or passing. It is the kind that keeps them restless every night. Your presence does something to them they cannot explain, and they have stopped trying to rationalize it. It is not just your looks holding their attention. It is the way you carry yourself entirely, the confidence you walk with, the warmth in your eyes, and the energy you bring into a room. All of it hits them at once, and they are completely undone by the full picture of you. Ace of Wands also confirms that this desire has been building far longer than they let on. The fire did not start yesterday. It has been growing quietly, and now it burns without control. Wanting you is not something they decided. It is something their body chose without any permission given. The thought of being chosen by you consumes them, and they sit with it constantly in silence. Their longing is not surface level. It reaches into a place they did not know existed before you. The way you linger in their thoughts is not a choice. It is a reflex, beyond control. The next card coming through is the Emperor, and this adds a very specific layer here. The Emperor tells me they do not want you casually. They want you with full and complete commitment. There is a protectiveness to how they feel, not toxic or controlling, but deeply intentional and steady. They see you as the one to build something permanent with, not a temporary chapter in their story. This card confirms their desire carries structure behind it, not just heat, but a real, lasting foundation. A future with you in it is what they imagine, and that vision drives everything they feel inside. You are not an option to them. You are the entire direction they want their life to take. The Emperor also tells me they see your beauty as something rare, not found anywhere else at all. Comparisons have been made quietly in their mind, and nothing comes close to what you carry naturally. Other people do not hold their attention the same way, and that realization shook them to the core. They have tried to look elsewhere, and every time the only face that stays is yours completely. The pull you have over them is not chosen. It is involuntary, and it grows stronger over time. No distance or distraction has weakened it, and that persistence is what confirms how real this is. Following that, we see the Two of Cups, and this confirms the connection runs deeper than attraction. Two of Cups tells me the bond between you holds genuine emotional depth, not just physical chemistry. Something happens when your eyes meet, a recognition that goes deeper than words can describe properly. The chemistry is undeniable on their side, and this card confirms they believe you feel it too. What they want is not just your body, they want your mind, your presence, and your full attention. Conversations with you light something up inside them, something no one else has been able to reach. Real intimacy is what they crave with you, the kind where silence feels comfortable and nothing is forced. Two of Cups confirms you are not interchangeable to them. You are specific and irreplaceable in their eyes. The way they want you is whole and all-consuming, and they would choose you over anyone without hesitation. Respect lives at the center of their attraction, and that respect makes their desire even more intense. Being near you is not enough for them. They want to be the one you turn to. Admiration for who you are at your core, that is what separates this from anything casual entirely. You are beautiful to them in ways beyond what a mirror shows, and they mean it fully. Now, let us talk about you and where you stand in all of this, because your side matters. You carry something you do not always see in yourself, and the cards want you to hear it. A beauty lives in you that has nothing to do with effort. It exists naturally on its own. The way you move through the world leaves an impression, and you rarely stop to notice that. People are drawn to you without any specific reason, and that pull is more powerful than you know. Walking around underestimating your own presence has become a habit, and the cards are correcting it now. Somewhere along the way, you stopped seeing yourself clearly, and that clouded lens needs to finally come off. The first card here is the Empress, and this speaks directly to the energy living inside of you. The Empress confirms that you radiate warmth, sensuality, and a quiet magnetism that fills any space you enter. A softness to your strength is what people feel immediately, even before you speak a single word. You nurture those around you naturally, and that generosity of spirit is something rare and deeply felt. What this card tells me is you have been pouring into others without receiving anything in return. Your giving nature is beautiful, but it has left you running on empty more than you realize. Self-care has taken a back seat to caring for everyone else, and your body feels that deeply. The exhaustion is not just physical. It lives in the way you question your own value quietly. Asking yourself whether you are enough, that is a question that should have never entered your mind. The Empress does not appear for ordinary energy. It shows up for someone holding something extraordinary inside. Your beauty is layered, starting at the surface and deepening the closer anyone pays real attention to you. The way you hold space for others while quietly falling apart yourself, that duality is ending now. Confidence has been shaky lately, and the cards want you to know that the doubt is only noise. Nothing about you needs fixing or adjusting, and dimming yourself for comfort was never your responsibility here. The next card coming through is the Three of Wands, and this mirrors where you stand today. Three of Wands tells me you have been waiting on the edge, looking out at the horizon ahead. An anticipation sits inside of you, a quiet knowing that something significant is heading your way soon. You feel it in your gut, even when your mind tries hard to talk you out of believing. The patience you carried through this season of your life, it has not gone unnoticed by the universe. Three of Wands confirms that your waiting was never passive. You were growing while you stood still. Every quiet moment of healing you chose over chaos, that discipline is about to pay off for you. Inner work happened when nobody was watching, and that work shaped you into exactly who you are today. The version of you standing here is stronger, more grounded, and more self-aware than you have ever been. Chasing stopped at some point, and that stillness became your greatest power without you even realizing it. Not pursuing anyone or anything shifted the energy around you, and now the right things approach naturally. You may not see the full picture yet, but the foundation you built is solid and completely undeniable. Trust that what you planted in silence is now growing roots deeper than anything on the surface. Following that, we have the Queen of Swords, and this confirms the clarity forming inside of you. Queen of Swords tells me your mind is sharp, your instincts are accurate, and your boundaries are rising. Wisdom in you comes from lived experience, not from textbooks or borrowed advice from outside sources. Difficult seasons were walked through with dignity, even when carrying that grace cost you more than expected. Queen of Swords confirms you are learning to protect your peace without apologizing for it to anyone. The days of shrinking yourself to fit spaces that were never built for you, those are ending now. Your voice carries weight, and speaking your truth no longer feels like risk, but feels like a right. Clarity about what you deserve has been growing steadily, and it is changing how you carry yourself. What this card also reveals is that you stopped tolerating less than what your heart truly deserves. That standard you are quietly setting is not too high. It sits exactly where it should be. You are not asking for too much. You are finally asking for what matches the love you offer. Okay, let us go into their side now, because what lives inside of them tells the full story. The way they feel about you built slowly over time, and then it consumed them without warning. Their inner world revolves around you, more than they would willingly admit to another living person. Every thought circles back to you eventually, and they stopped trying to redirect where their mind goes. The obsession is quiet on the outside, but internally it runs louder than anything else they carry. Waking up with you on their mind has become routine, and you are the last thought before sleep. That pattern is not chosen or controlled. It took over without their permission, and it never stopped. The first card we have here is the Knight of Cups, and this reveals their emotional core. Knight of Cups tells me they are deeply romantic in how they feel, even if they hide it. Underneath whatever exterior they present to the world, A tender and devoted heart beats only for you. Their feelings carry a poetic quality, the kind that makes them replay small moments shared together. A glance exchanged once lives permanently in their memory, and they return to it over and over. This card confirms they idealize you in ways that go far beyond what surface attraction explains. What you represent to them is something sacred, a version of love they never believed could exist. The devotion is not performative or shallow. It sits in a place they guard fiercely from everyone. How they feel about you is protected the way someone protects a wound, carefully and with awareness. Vulnerability is terrifying to them, and loving you this intensely makes them feel more exposed than ever. Knight of Cups also tells me their desire is wrapped in emotional depth, not surface-level heat alone. Physical attraction is undeniable, but what drives them deeper is who you are when nobody is watching. Quietly, from a distance, they have studied you, noticing habits and patterns nobody else ever caught. The way you laugh, the way you think, the way your energy shifts in moments of comfort. All of it was cataloged in their mind, and each detail only made the wanting grow stronger. The next card coming through is the Magician reversed, and this exposes the inner conflict they carry. Magician reversed tells me they know what they want, but they doubt their ability to earn it. A gap exists between who they are and who they believe they need to become for this. That gap torments them quietly because they feel unworthy of the kind of love you represent here. Confidence around you wavers in ways it never does anywhere else, and that frustrates them deeply inside. Magician reversed confirms they feel powerless in your presence, overwhelmed by what you trigger inside of them. Control is something they value greatly, and losing it around you creates tension they cannot resolve. Questions about whether they have enough to offer haunt them, circling back every time they go quiet. That self-doubt was built over years of believing they fell short, and it predates you by far. Past experiences taught them love requires performance, and performing feels impossible because you see through every mask. Your ability to look past the surface is what attracts them and what terrifies them the most. What this reversal also reveals is that rehearsed versions of themselves never felt authentic or real. The real version of who they are feels too raw to show, so hesitation holds them in place. Following that, we see the Seven of Cups, and this takes us deeper into their fantasy world. Seven of Cups tells me they daydream about you constantly, building entire futures in their imagination. Scenarios where they finally tell you everything play on repeat, and each version ends with you staying. Mornings together, quiet evenings side by side, and the life that feels whole because of your presence. The fantasies are vivid and consuming, providing a comfort that their current reality has not yet matched. Seven of Cups confirms their inner world is flooded with visions, each one centered entirely on you. Not all of it is grounded in reality, but the emotion behind each vision is painfully genuine. Dreaming of being enough to stand beside you, without the weight of doubt pulling at their chest. The desire underneath it all is simple. They want to be seen by you and not turned away. A fear of illusion also lives here, a worry that what they feel might never be returned fully. So the cards are now shifting into action, and what comes next is direct and impossible to miss. This person is done sitting with their feelings quietly, and a decision has been made on their end. The waiting game they played with themselves is officially over, and momentum builds fast around them now. Something clicked inside of them recently, and that click moved them from daydreaming into deliberate planning. They are no longer asking themselves whether to pursue you. They are figuring out exactly how. The hesitation that held them in place cracked open, and urgency replaced it almost overnight completely. What is coming toward you from their direction carries weight, and it arrives sooner than you expect. The first card here is the Six of Wands, and this is bold, confident energy stepping forward. Six of Wands tells me they have made up their mind, and they move now with full certainty. There is no second guessing left in their approach. The decision is locked, and they feel sure about it. This card confirms they step into this pursuit with a confidence you have not seen from them before. The fear that once held them back has been overridden by a refusal to lose this chance. Six of Wands carries victory energy, and they believe this connection is worth fighting for out loud. They are not hiding how they feel anymore, and people around them are starting to notice the shift. Friends or close circles may already know about you because keeping it private is no longer possible. The intensity leaked out, and those closest to them picked up on exactly where their focus sits now. What this card also shows is a desire to come to you from a position of strength. Showing up weak or uncertain is not the plan. They want you to see them at their best. Preparation is happening behind the scenes, and every detail of their approach is being carefully considered. The effort behind this tells me it is not a whim, it is a fully committed mission. The next card coming through is the Page of Swords, and this confirms the strategy behind everything. Page of Swords tells me they are gathering information, watching for the right moment to make contact. Timing matters to them deeply, and they refuse to approach when the conditions feel off or rushed. There is an alertness to their energy now, like someone scanning for the perfect opening to step through. Page of Swords confirms they pay close attention to your patterns, your mood, and your availability right now. Nothing about this approach is random or impulsive. It is calculated with your comfort as the priority. They want the moment to land correctly, and they are willing to wait for the right window. Messages may come first as something casual, a comment, a reply, or something seemingly small and harmless. That casual entry point is intentional, designed to test the waters before revealing the full depth behind it. Watching your social presence more closely than you realize, every post and every word fed their planning. The reconnaissance is thorough because they refuse to misstep, and they take this pursuit very seriously. Every move is weighed against how it will land with you, and nothing is left to chance. Following that, we see the Chariot, and this confirms that forward motion is now unstoppable on their end. The Chariot tells me they aligned their will with their desire, and nothing is slowing them down now. Obstacles that existed before have been mentally cleared, and the path towards you feels wide open to them. This card carries the energy of someone driving toward a destination with absolute focus and zero distraction. The Chariot confirms this is not passive interest anymore. This is active pursuit with a clear target. They are coming for you with intention, direction, and a pace that picks up with every passing day. Distractions that once pulled their attention have been cut away, and you remain the singular remaining focus. Nothing competes with you in their vision anymore, and that singular focus drives everything they do now. A sense of destiny surrounds this for them, like something in the universe shifted and gave permission. That green light is what they were waiting for, and they believe they finally received it without doubt. The alignment between desire and courage has locked into place, and nothing can reverse what has started. Every card in this section points to deliberate action, strategic timing, and someone who... Now, this is what they will never tell you willingly, but the cards hold nothing back here. Behind every look and every silence, confessions live that they guard with everything they have inside. The depth of what they feel for you terrifies them, and they bury it deeper each passing day. Admitting how much power you hold over them would mean surrendering the last wall still standing. They whisper your name when no one is around, and the sound of it calms something in them. Alone with their thoughts at night, you become the only thing that makes the world feel quiet. The confession they protect most fiercely is simple. They are completely and irreversibly in love with you. The first card pulled is the High Priestess, and this pulls back the veil on their deepest truth. The High Priestess tells me they carry a secret devotion, one that no one else knows about. This feeling lives in a locked room inside of them, visited often but never opened for anyone. Spiritually, they feel connected to you in a way they cannot explain with logic or reason at all. Something beyond attraction ties them to you, and they sense it in their chest like a quiet pulse. This card confirms they believe you were placed in their life deliberately, not by accident or chance. Fate is a word they do not use lightly, but when it comes to you, they mean it. They secretly believe you are their person, the one they were always supposed to end up beside. That belief is not shared with anyone, because saying it aloud makes it feel too vulnerable. What this card also reveals is they dream about you, and those dreams feel more real than waking. In those dreams, you choose them freely, and waking up to find it was not real devastates them. The gap between the dream and their reality is where most of their private pain quietly lives. Silently, they confess that your presence gave everything meaning, something they never carried before you arrived. Without you, the days blur together, routines feel hollow, and motivation disappears into something shapeless and gray. A version of themselves only exists because of you, and losing that version scares them beyond words. The next card coming through is the Ten of Pentacles, and this reveals what they imagine privately. Ten of Pentacles tells me they do not just want a moment, they want an entire lifetime. The confession beneath this card is that they picture growing old beside you, outlasting everything else. Holidays together, shared meals at the same table, and mornings where your face is the first seen. Stability with you is what they crave, not excitement alone, but deep and lasting permanence. Introducing you to family, merging lives fully, and creating a home that belongs to both of you. That vision is protected inside of them like something fragile, because sharing it risks losing everything. The desire for legacy with you is not casual. It is the most serious thought they carry. Privately, they confess that no version of success means anything unless you are standing in it too. Achievement without you beside them feels incomplete, like building a beautiful house with no one inside it. What this card also shows is a desire to provide for you, protecting your peace and comfort. The urge to take care of you runs deep, surprising even them with how constant it stays. Following that, we see the King of Cups, and this is the final hidden layer exposed here. King of Cups tells me they mask the full depth of emotion behind practiced composure every day. On the surface, they appear measured and collected, but underneath that mask, an ocean of feeling rages. The composure is performance, designed to keep you from seeing how completely you have undone them inside. Emotional mastery was never their actual goal. It was survival wrapped around the weight of loving you. Feeling this much for one person was never their plan, and it disrupted everything they thought they knew. Controlling themselves around you requires constant effort, and the strain of it wears them thinner each day. Every casual interaction takes enormous discipline because their instinct screams to tell you everything at once. The words sit right at the edge of their tongue every time, and they swallow them back down. Jealousy toward anyone who holds your attention also surfaces here, even when the moment is brief. Watching you give warmth to others stirs something possessive, and that feeling shames them into silence. They want to be your only focus, your safe place, and the person you think of before sleep. Okay, let us look at where this is heading, because the near future brings something you will feel. Between you and this person, something tangible and undeniable is about to shift into place very soon. What has been building in the background crosses into your visible reality, and the timing feels deliberate. The first card is the World, and it tells me a chapter completes to make room ahead. The World confirms that a cycle of waiting and wondering is ending, and a new phase begins shortly. Doors that felt sealed are opening on their own, and alignment is falling into place around you both. The near future holds a moment of recognition between you two, one that neither of you can ignore. Eye contact will shift, conversations will deepen, and the unspoken tension finally reaches its tipping point. The World tells me the universe is arranging conditions, actively pushing this connection to move forward. The next card is Strength, and this confirms that the near future requires patience wrapped in quiet confidence. Strength tells me the energy shifts gradually, not in a dramatic explosion, but in steady, undeniable waves. Each interaction from here forward carries more weight, and the closeness between you intensifies without forcing it. Strength confirms that what is coming does not need to be rushed, because its arrival is already certain. What also arrives is a moment where they reveal more than intended, catching themselves completely off guard. A slip in their composure is coming, and what shows through that crack will tell you everything. Following that, we have the Four of Wands, and this confirms celebration and union entering the picture. Four of Wands tells me a milestone is approaching for this connection, something that feels like a beginning. Whether it is a first real conversation, a first date, or a first honest admission, it arrives soon. This card carries the energy of two people finally coming together, and the joy of it is palpable. Four of Wands confirms the near future holds warmth, laughter, and the start of something with real roots. The cards see this connection entering a phase of genuine closeness, and it begins in the days ahead. Now, my advice for you as this unfolds is something I want you to carry with you closely. Do not dim your light to make them comfortable. Let them rise to meet you where you stand. Your beauty and your energy are exactly what drew them in, and shrinking that does nobody any favors. Receive what is coming toward you with open hands, but keep your standards where they belong, firmly. You deserve someone who matches your effort, not someone who only shows up when it feels convenient. Trust your gut before you trust their words, because your intuition has never led